Okay, you guys, I have had a day and a week and a month and a year, and that's kind of what we're talking about today. 2020 has been quite a year, and we would not blame you if you missed some totally major Disney news like the CEO stepping down or free MagicBands being discontinued. But don't worry, because we're rounding out the biggest news everybody missed right now. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and the news coming out at the Disney parks has been virtually non-stop. And to be honest, you may have been preoccupied with some, other things going on this year. 2020 has been a wild ride, and there are some big changes at Disney that have flown under the radar. So let's get into all the stories that fell by the wayside. First, Cinderella's Royal Table, opening without those princesses. Modified character meals are returning to Disney World, but princesses haven't come back to the restaurants yet. At Cinderella's Royal Table, you will see Cinderella herself. She makes a quick appearance to wave to guests from afar, but that's it. Former princess character meals like Trattoria al Forno on the boardwalk are also princess-less at the moment. And Akershus in Epcot's Norway Pavilion isn't even operating as a restaurant right now. It's one of the relaxation stations in the park. So if you want to see Mickey while you dine, you're in luck because you can see him at Topolino's Terrace, Garden Grill, Hollywood and Vine, and starting in December, Chef Mickey's. Characters won't stop by each table and give hugs and sign autographs, but they will walk around the restaurant several times and you'll get a pre-signed autograph card at most spots. We do expect some more character meals will return as Disney World continues to reopen, but for right now, the only princesses you're going to see will be those in the character cavalcades and maybe that quick glimpse at Cindy. All right, here's some seriously big news. Casey's Corner is still closed. We have been missing those corn dog nuggets in the Magic Kingdom with so many other restaurants and kiosks reopening, and we're left wondering why Casey's Corner is still closed. Well, here's a quick aside. They do sometimes have the corn dog nuggets over at Westward Ho Refreshments, just heads up. But for those who don't know, Casey's Corner is a popular quick service restaurant serving up hot dogs and mini corn dog nuggets. So we're kind of baffled that this theme park staple location isn't open yet. You can't even sit inside. There's no indoor dining. It's all outdoor dining. So it seems really strange. Maybe they're still working out how social distancing will work since it's a smaller location. I don't know. But in any case, with more restaurants reopening and restrictions on social distancing becoming more relaxed in the state of Florida, we could see Disney changing some of their policies and opening even more restaurants in the near future. I don't know. They've kind of said that they're not going to change anything just yet, but I'm sure reopening will move forward. All right, this is an interesting one. There were not big price increases this year. So October 1st usually means giant price increases on food and more around Disney World. But October 1st came and went, and the price of a Mickey bar stayed the same. This is an annual occurrence for Disney. We're always ready to check menus and report in on the latest price increases about twice a year. It happens about twice a year. And we always want to know how much we're going to be shelling out for a bottle of soda every year. But these price increases that are pretty standard just did not happen. Surely the Disney company could do with the added influx of cash right now, but luckily for us, they forewent the price increases this year, and I suppose it would be in kind of poor taste given the current climate. But stay tuned, we'll be keeping an eye on those menus. All right, here's another one that totally flew under the radar, and we're betting a lot of you missed this. The Disney Dining Plan Plus edition. Remember way back in February before all this started when social distancing wasn't a commonly used phrase and your home wasn't filled with tons of hand sanitizer? Seems like years ago, right? Well, that's when Disney World rolled out their new dining plan option, Disney Dining Plan Plus. This plan is kind of the bridge between the standard dining plan and the deluxe dining plan. You get 2 meals that can be used at any restaurant, quick service or table service, and 2 snacks per day. It isn't as restrictive as the quick service or standard dining plan, but it isn't as over the top as the deluxe dining plan. Very few people actually got to try it out though, as the dining plan was temporarily suspended with the park's closures and it has not come back. So stay tuned, but if you're planning your trips for 2021 or 2022, we're assuming the dining plan will eventually come back, so keep an eye on Disney Dining Plan Plus. Okay, remember this craziness? There's a new CEO. Bob Chapek became CEO. Now, Bob has not been out in the spotlight lately. Josh D'Amaro has been leading most of the statements, so you'd be forgiven if it slipped your mind that he took on the role of CEO of the Walt Disney Company on February 25th of this year, after spending nearly 3 decades with the company. Bob Iger, the former CEO, is still very involved during the transition, and due to current events, that transition might be a little longer than anyone anticipated. Presumably, Bob Chapek is behind the scenes working hard to keep everything running while Josh D'Amaro and Bob Iger act as the face of the company right now. Now, Bob Iger still works with the company. He moved up to become the chairman. All right, another February addition. The Magic Happens parade debuted in Disneyland. Remember this? On February 28th, they debuted their brand new daytime parade, Magic Happens. It only ran for 15 days before the park closed. The parade features incredible new floats. There's a Moana float with a super cool projection technology and plenty of fun characters from Coco, The Sword and the Stone. Oh man, that Merlin is awesome. And Frozen 2. Now, Disney Parks YouTube did release a video of the parade so that people could watch from home since so few people saw the parade debut in the park. So I'm hoping when Disneyland finally reopens, Magic Happens comes back with it. But Disney World didn't have any parades when they came back, so we'll see what happens. All right, speaking of Disneyland, we're going to head over to Disney California Adventure. Remember Avengers Campus? Yeah, that was supposed to open in July. So this is another big bummer for Disneyland. This brand new Marvel-themed land has been majorly delayed. It's a Marvel superhero land, and it's going to be in Disney California Adventure. And construction is still ongoing. They recently made a big deal about the large Quinjet prop arriving, but we don't have any time frame on when we might actually be able to visit that new land. Presumably, it all depends on when the parks open, but even then, we may have to wait a while for construction timelines to catch up or for park capacity restrictions to be loosened. We're waiting on a lot of stuff in Disney World and Disneyland to open. That includes Ratatouille, Avengers Campus, a lot of stuff that was supposed to be open right now, and that leads me right into my next one here. Space 220 still doesn't have an opening date. So this is a space-themed restaurant coming to Epcot, right next to Mission Space. It's been delayed over and over and over and over again. The restaurant was announced way back in July 2017, and then it was supposed to open this past winter, presumably the end of 2019. But then they needed to replace their executive chef, and then a giant panel fell into the restaurant or something. It was supposed to open in early 2020. A February opening date was heavily rumored. Get it? Like 2/20, like February 20th, 2020, 2020. You get it. And then it was switched to summer 2020. Now it's just coming soon. I guess they decided to stop putting dates on there at all. Construction is moving right along though, and the restaurant even picked out flatware. Yep. We got pictures of the flatware. So Space 220 is probably nearly ready, but we may need to wait for crowd levels to increase before that coming soon becomes an official date again. But speaking of Epcot, we do have one positive from all this craziness. Spaceship Earth is still open. Spaceship Earth in Epcot was supposed to close for a huge refurb in May, but so many construction projects were halted and redirected during the park closures that this one is now indefinitely postponed. Harmonious, the Epcot fireworks show that was supposed to debut this summer, is also a bit delayed, though they are still testing elements of the show. Hopefully this starts up once fireworks can return to the parks again. The Mary Poppins attraction that was announced at last year's D23 Expo for the UK Pavilion may not be happening at all. It's definitely been moved to the back burner, and it's also been removed from the coming soon preview film that's playing at the Epcot Experience. That new festival pavilion may also be on hold, though we haven't heard any official word from Disney on that one. The Play Pavilion and the Guardians of the Galaxy coaster are both still under construction and should be opening in 2021. All right, next big change everybody missed, R2-D2 cruising around Galaxy's Edge, right? At the end of 2019 and early 2020, Disney started to test out free roaming droids in Galaxy's Edge. This is something that was talked about when Disney was presenting the initial land concepts and talking about immersion. But when Galaxy's Edge opened, there were no droids cruising around the land. A free roaming R2-D2 was tested for a short time in Disneyland and rumored to become a permanent fixture before the parks closed. He would roll around by the entrance to Millennium Falcon Smuggler's Run. He hasn't shown up in Disney World though, so we're not sure what has become of this little droid, but we do hope to see him back. Now, something we won't see back is Ample Hills. Ample Hills is officially gone from Disney World. Following bankruptcy, this ice cream shop was sold, and the shop on Disney's Boardwalk and the Coming Soon location in Disney Springs were both closed for good. This one is a huge bummer because Ample Hills ice cream was delicious, and they had those awesome ice cream tacos that we loved. Now, it seems that the new owners wanted to focus on their Brooklyn shops where the company first originated, so no more connection between Ample Hills and Disney World. And something else that we noticed this year that I don't think a lot of people actually registered is that there have been no big birthday celebrations. Disney usually goes all out for anniversaries and big celebrations. At the very least, there's usually a special cupcake and a pin to mark the occasion. This year, Disney was not super pumped to celebrate the anniversaries of Magic Kingdom and Epcot on October 1st, and there was no big celebration or even small celebration marking the one-year anniversary of Galaxy's Edge in Disney World on August 29th. In years past, we've gotten special buttons and specialty snacks to celebrate parks' birthdays, but not in 2020, my friends. Disneyland is celebrating its 65th anniversary, though the park wasn't open that day to officially celebrate, but that has been mostly just merch being sold at Downtown Disney to mark the 65th anniversary. Nothing super special, as that merch was probably already in warehouses when the parks closed. All right, number 13, MagicBands won't be free anymore. And finally, you guys probably missed this one because we almost missed it when we were making this list. But remember, Disney did announce that MagicBands will no longer be free even for hotel guests starting in 2021. Right in the middle of Disney reopening Disney Springs and releasing tons and tons of news about safety protocols and reopening dates, they dropped this little bomb that has flown almost completely under the radar. Previously, Disney World Resort guests would receive a complimentary solid color Magic Band, but starting in January, everyone will need to pay for a band, though resort guests will get a discount. Magic Bands, by the way, act as your ticket and room key at Disney World, though if you don't want to purchase one, you'll be given a card to use instead. We got a whole video all about the secrets behind Magic Bands, so you can go check that out next. Now, this year has been absolutely bonkers. There's so much news to cover, and it seems that things are running at light speed. Can you seriously believe some of the things even happened this year? I know, it seems unbelievable that it was just 3 months ago that the parks reopened. So how many of these stories did you miss? Or have you been subscribed to our totally free newsletter and getting all the latest updates right to your inbox so you're not missing anything? If you aren't subscribed, be sure to click on the link in the description of this video and you won't miss a bit of Disney Parks news. Thank you guys for listening. Thanks for watching. Let us know in the comments what we didn't put on this video, those big news items that maybe flew a little bit under the radar for a lot of people because so many other things were happening this year. We'd love to hear from you in the comments. As always, this is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.